Welcome to Module 2 tutorial for English 90. In this module, you're going to learn about business writing. So Module 2 and 3 both focus on business writing, starting with the memo in Module 2 and the business letter in Module 3. I want you to start by just thinking about what is good business writing. So just pause the video for about 20 seconds and see if you can list down a number of qualities that you feel would characterize as good business writing. Then we want to think about why is good writing, let's go back a screen. Why is good writing important? So just take a look at the images in this picture and see if you can figure out when good business writing might be extremely important. So again, pause the video for a few minutes and just have a look and see what you can come up with. Okay, let's just give a brief discussion on this. Perhaps you were looking at the image of the hospital. Well, good writing is extremely important in a healthcare situation. If you misspell a word or write a report incorrectly, a patient's health could be at risk, or perhaps a whole series of incidences could happen because of a simple miscommunication in a document or a misspelling on a patient's chart. Police report. We all know that if a police report has any errors in it, it could be thrown out. Now, I'm not saying it will. I'm just saying there could be all sorts of legal issues that arise from incorrect statements in a police report. Pizza. If you're ordering pizza, it's important that the menu is correct. So for a business's survival, there has to be good writing on their promotional opportunities, their ads, their menus, etc. And can you imagine if you're working for a business contract, if you've got a business contract, a legal document that has mistakes in it, it could easily cause years of legal problems for the clients. It could result in a house being taken away from somebody simply because of simple errors on documents. So good writing is extremely important. That's why I know that sometimes it feels very artificial that you're focusing on grammar and spelling, but when you think about it, you are training to be a professional and your writing will reflect your professional abilities. So take some time and make sure that you are focusing on good, accurate, and correct writing as you develop your professional writing skills. So let's talk a little bit about the difference between informal writing and formal writing. Now, most business writing is very formal. It ranges from, again, a flyer for a pizza factory or a pizza restaurant to a formal document such as a legal contract or a will. You'll notice that some of the differences are the more you go through, excuse me, let me rephrase that. Business writing is sort of on the scale, a sliding scale. Informal writing to formal. The more formal the situation, the more you go to the right, the more formal and correct the writing is. When you look at informal writing, such as Twitter, Facebook, all sorts of incidences like that, we don't worry quite so much about the writing conventions. Most often you don't care if you use contractions, abbreviations, slang, informal language. You might talk about I and you and we, and you're going to have relaxed grammar or sentence structure. But as you slide over the scale to formal business writing, you're going to avoid those contractions. So from now on, in most of your writing, there's a perfect example. Instead of won't, you would say will not. You also will not be using abbreviations. So you won't be using words such as etc. Instead of writing out, instead of, for example, the month November, you'd write it out instead of saying NOV for November. You'll certainly avoid slang. You'll use formal language. Your point of view will be much more removed. So in most cases, in your essays from now on, you will not be using the word you or I, except under special circumstances. You'll be talking instead, you'll say, the person involved may be perceived to be the top candidate for the position. instead of saying, I think you're the best person for the job. Exact language. You'll also be making sure that your word choice is very exact and your style is very deliberate, done to suit the purpose of the document. So just a few thoughts about the differences between informal and formal writing. Again, in this course, you will be moving your writing from the less formal to the informal, and the more complex your writing, the less you're going to be using contractions, abbreviations, and slangs, etc. So in this module, you're going to learn to write a memo. So we're going to end this brief tutorial, and we're going to go into the module now, and we're going to look at how to write a memo. So that will come up in the next little tutorial.